Alright, hello everybody. Let's hope that you can hear me. I'm back streaming after weeks off. Actually, I'm not sure how long it's been, but it's been way too long. And it's mostly because I've been working on my other hobby, which is miniature wargaming. Primarily Warhammer 40,000, but also mixed in with a little bit of Age of Sigmar, the Old World. I bought the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. Worked on a lot of those models and some terrain. Haven't actually played that yet. What else? Fallout. I've had the Fallout miniatures game for a number of years, and haven't actually played a multiplayer game of that, but I have done some of the solo missions. But yeah, 40k has been it, and I've been building a Tyranids army. I also have some Ultramarines. And I know it's crazy, but even a third army of the Stunties, they're called, what are they called again? Votan? Leagues of Votan. I have their codex right here. Alright, well anyway, the point of this video today is going to be a very short tutorial on how you can actually play Warhammer 40,000 on Tabletop Simulator. Now, you can actually play other miniature war games on Tabletop Simulator. I've seen it. But this is what I've been concentrating on, and I've played a few games already. I'm in Tabletop Simulator right now, but there are a couple of things that you actually have to do before you can play. Number one, and most important, is to join the Discord. The Discord is called TTS Warhammer 40k and all Wargaming. I'll try to remember to post all links of all the websites and everything I mentioned down in the underneath the video. Yeah, look for TTS Warhammer 40k and all Wargaming. If you get on Tabletop Simulator and you try to get a game, you hit join. It's going to run through all the games here. Arkham Horror card game is such a popular game. A good friend of mine plays that, and he loves it. I have it, but I never really got into it. Here we go. Here we go. 40k. So this is one of the maps. Very popular. You can see there's a lot of games. And they're all locked. And they're always going to be locked. Every one of them will be locked. And that's because these games are organized on the Discord. You can't really get a pickup game on Tabletop Simulator. If you find a game open and you go in, most likely you're going to get booted. I think once I got into a game and I asked if I could spectate. And they allowed me to. So, number one, get on the Discord. Once you're on the Discord, you can find Demo Game Finder is a good place to go on their Discord. It allows you to find mentors, and there are quite a few that will actually teach you the game. And then once you're familiar, you can just go to the Looking for Game tab in the Discord, and there are constantly games popping up. People that want to play Warhammer 40k. Now, for me, I would be doing this all day long. The problem is 40k seems to be quite long these days. I mean, I like to play 1,000 point games just so I could do it in under 3 hours. I haven't played a 2,000 point game yet because I don't have that kind of time. Today I do. Thank you, Mr. President Lincoln. Mr. President. All right. So let me show you how to make an army for the game, because you can go to the workshop in Tabletop Simulator and you can find armies, you can find models, and you can put them together on your own. But there is a very simple and easy way to do it. And again, if you get on the Discord, it'll show you links to, it'll have pinned links to these websites where you can get what I'm about to show you. So for one, let me see if I could do this. I'll show you the new recruit website. That's another link I'll hopefully remember to post. Window capture. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so now you should be seeing, well, no, you're seeing my Discord. Here's New Recruit. You should be seeing that now. Yeah. New Recruit is a website that is essentially an army builder. And you can build, let me go to the home page. You can build armies for Age of Sigmar. Horus Heresy is, I guess it's Warhammer 30k. I don't think it's as popular. The Ninth Age was Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And it's still popular. People are still playing that. I never really got into it, even though I loved Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Warhammer 40k 10th edition. Warhammer the Old World is the new Fantasy Warhammer, which I am going to be getting into. However, I'll make a separate video of it. There is another website where games are played for the Old World, because in that game, it's different than 40k. It's not a skirmish. It's not a single model type game. You have to put models on a tray. You have to like move the trays around and wheel them. So there's a program that somebody built that allows you to manipulate the pieces on the board much easier. Although the graphics aren't as good as Tabletop Simulator, but we're not really interested in too much in graphics. Well, at least I'm not. I'm interested in playing the game and having it simulate what it does on the actual table when you play somebody in person. So back to New Recruit. I selected Warhammer 40k 10th edition, and I'm going to create a new list. So you can hit new up here. You pick your faction. They're all here. There are the different Chaos factions. These are the good guys, the Imperium. These are all Space Marines. And then there are Custodes, Imperial Knights, and so on. Then there are the Xenos, the Elves, Dark Elves, and so on. The Necrons, and the Tyranids. My army are the Tyranids. So let's build, well, just for argument's sake, I guess if you were to buy like a starter box, you would either get Tyranids or Ultramarines. Let's create an Ultramarines list. So Empyrean, Adeptus Astartes, and I selected Ultramarines because of the different chapters. New list name, we'll call it Tutorial List. And then you have to select a point limit. Let's do 1,000 points. Add force, and then create list. So here we are in the configuration. I usually set the battle size here to 1,000 points because that's what we're making our list to. In Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, there are detachments, which are different focuses of your list. You can like focus your list to do certain things, or they play certain ways, I guess. Gladius seems to be the default for Ultramarines. Select that. And I usually hide all of these options because they'll show you legend. They'll show you a lot of things that aren't necessary to build your list here. All right. Now we get on to building a list. So I'm just going to select units haphazardly. I'm not going to make anything that makes sense here. But you have your epic heroes, your characters, your battle line, which I guess some people call the main scoring units, infantry, and so on. The thing I like about 40k 10th edition is there are no real restrictions. I mean, there are some, but not like there were in the last edition I played, which might have been 7th or 8th, I forget. So let's say we have Marnius Calgar. We'll select him. He puts him in our list. It shows you the points here. Maybe we want to take a librarian, Terminator armor. For battle line, maybe we want intercessors. It gives you 5 of them, but if you click on the unit, you can customize the unit. So like now I could actually change out their loadouts, give them different types of weapons according to the codex. You still have to obey, what the codex says, and the rules should be updated on New Recruit, but I'm not sure if they are. So if you try to do something that's not allowed, it'll show you like a red mark, like a red exclamation point, and won't let you. The reason why I'm getting this red exclamation point is because I don't have a warlord yet. we're going to make Marnius Calgar a warlord. Where is he? Warlord. We check that off. Now the error message goes away. So I was saying with the intercessors, you can increase their number, and they go up to 10. According to the codex, you can have a group of 10 of them. So there we go. We hit this button down here, makes them go to 10. Of course, their points go up, and we can keep on adding units. Maybe we want an Eradicator squad. Where are we at? 535 points. Maybe we want a Terminator squad. And again, you can customize some of these. Like, I don't think the Eradicators are much customizable, but the Terminators, you can go in and you can give them chain fists or a power weapon for the sergeant. You can give them heavy weapons. I think you can give one of them per 5 a heavy weapon, and so on. And then you could select vehicles. Let's say we want a Dreadnought. Maybe we want a Gladiator tank. Oh, that puts us over. So we said we have a red mark there. But you get the idea. Let's get rid of the Dreadnought, and then maybe we'll take maybe take a couple of. Here we go. We take a Rhino. Now we're 60 points out. I think there's not too much 60 points or less in an Ultramarines list. Where's that little like ATV? Here it is. We'll take the Invader ATV to round out to 1,000 points. So here's our list. All right. Now that we have our list done, you could print this out and take it to your local shop and play. This will be your list. It has all the details. But for Tabletop Simulator, we want to export. Export is up here on top. We're going to hit export, and we're going to hit Yellowscribe. Yellowscribe code copied to clipboard. Okay. Now, I didn't mention this. I should have. You should download Yellowscribe. If you just Google Yellowscribe, download it. Then you can go back to Tabletop Simulator. Let me go back. Okay. And we can create our game. I usually, if you're the host, you're going to create multiplayer, but for the sake of this video, I'll just do single player. All right. You're going to need one of the maps. On the Discord, they're pinned. Somebody pointed out one of the newer maps that have been sort of adjusted. It's called the Hutber 40k map. I use this one. You could use the FTC map. That's also... You don't have to go to the Discord. You could find these right on the Tabletop Simulator workshop. But here's the FTC 40k map that you've seen on the list of games. I don't know what's better. I don't know much. I don't know a lot of the differences in them. I just use this one. If you play somebody, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, you know, you're using this map, maybe we should use this one. And I just let them load their map. It's no big deal. So we're in the map. There's a lot of stuff here to confuse you. When I first saw this, I was really confused. Why do I have Return of Reckoning running in the background? I was going to play Warhammer Online. I plan on getting back into. Alright. So all of this stuff you don't have to concern yourself with just yet, because this is just a tutorial about how you get in to play the game. I'm going to just let you learn the game on your own. Or perhaps I'll do like a basic tutorial on how to play, but I'll make that a separate video. You select your battle size. So we chose Incursion, which is 1,000 points. If you wanted to, you can do the big Onslaught game, or you can go to the smaller Combat Patrol game. And you hit 1v1, or if you have friends that want to play, you can do 2v2s. It's actually common on the Discord. A lot of people do 2v2s. I never have. Then there are different types of games to play. The most popular here is Pariah Nexus, which I think is the updated like objectives, because 40k is different than I remembered it when I played it last. It's very objective based and point scoring based. It's not like kill the other guy and wipe them off the table. You want to have a balanced army that does a lot of different things to score. And again, that would be a totally different video, trying to explain like what you should have in your army to satisfy objectives. But you might get an idea if I show you some of these. Let's show all of these. So show all maps brings them out. Some people roll a die because I think there are 6 of them here. Like if you roll a 6-sided dice, you can just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 is this one. Some people do it that way. There's a tournament mission pool card here. There's also little cards that show you like how to do it. Choose a deck according to the mission, shuffle and draw 1 card, flip and click load map. So let's say we're going to pick this one. We'll shuffle the deck, or maybe there's only 1 here? Yeah, there's only 1 here. We'll flip that over, and this is the map we're going to use, so load map. So you don't have to go looking around on the workshop for maps or terrain pieces. It's going to load in a proper tournament map. Now, these aren't always the best maps to play on. As you can see, the terrain is pretty standard. It blocks a lot of lines of sight. Although right here in the middle, this is a nice firing lane right here. There are some diagonal firing lanes, I guess, but the way the terrain works online in Tabletop Simulator may not be exactly like it's written in the rulebook. Guess it depends on who you play. I'll leave it at that. So it's always a good idea to talk to your opponent before the game to make sure that you're both on the same page about the terrain and what it does and what blocks line of sight, you know, and so on. All right, now you're almost ready to play. All you have to do is get your army in here. And in order to do that, we have to go into a mod called ForceOrg. ForceOrg can be downloaded on the workshop. Again, I'll list all these. Probably I'll list them in a better order because I kind of went a little bit out of order here because this is probably what we should have loaded first before we went into the map. Because we have to have our army prepared before we load in a map. And this is how we prepare our army. Now remember, when we made our list in New Recruit, we exported it to Yellowscribe. And here is the Yellowscribe right here. Yellowscribe is I think it's also in the workshop. I don't think it's something you have to download separate. I think if you go to the I think if you go to Steam Workshop and you just type in Yellowscribe, you'll find it. Now, if we want to import now, if we want to get our army that we just made in here, you hit Launch Yellowscribe, and we're just going to post that link. It's going to give you a little saying, and here it is. This is the list we just made. Marnius Calgar. Here is our Librarian, Intercessors, Eradicators, Terminator, and the ATV. So that's good. Now we have what we need, but we need our models. So these are all of the armies and models for 40k. And we're going to load the Ultramarines. Of course, you can load different chapters. We are going to play the blue guys. Load models. This could take a minute because there are a lot of Ultramarine models. Look at that. So you could choose whichever model you want, to be honest. I like to kind of make it uniform, as uniform as I can. So first we need Marnius Calgar. Sicarius. He was the leader. He was the named character that I had in the last edition when I played. Here's Calgar. Put him on this mat where it says Model Staging Zone. This is where he's got to be. Alright, let's just keep collecting them. I like to put them all on first. So Librarian and Terminator armor is going to be... Where are the Librarians? This guy. The Intercessor squad. Intercessors are here. There are a bunch of them. You know, you could pick and choose. I don't think I kitted my list for grenadiers. I don't think I gave them grenades, so I'm not going to take that model. I'm a bit of a stickler for what you see is what you get, and I like to have my models represented correctly on the table. Not for any other reason but for me to remember what they have. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember. I write so many lists all the time. I think it's fun to make lists, so I confuse them all. Those are going to be our intercessors. Well, actually, we need a sergeant. We need an intercessor sergeant. This guy looks like the sergeant, but sometimes it'll list it. Like, you see the ultramarine. Where is these? I think these guys have a sergeant. No? Yeah, ultramarine intercessor with jump pack sergeant. The actual intercessors don't. Some of these will have a state on them. And if you select the different states, it'll change the model. Like, watch. Changes the model. I don't know what it did. It made him go backwards. Anyway, we'll make this guy our sergeant. He looks like a sergeant. Oh, but he's an assault intercessor. Nope, that's no good. This guy. So those are our intercessors. We need eradicators. These are the guys with the meltas. Oh, no, Desolation have different weapons. Hellblasters. Suppressors. Reavers. I'm sorry if you hear noise in the background. That's my printer. Come, I can't find these guys. They have meltas. They shouldn't be hard to find. Here we go. Eradicators. Oh, I like this guy pointing. Alright. And then Terminators. They're over here. I think I made just plain old Terminators with Power Fist and Storm Bolters. And then I also selected the Captain, or I meant the Sergeant, with the Power Weapon. So this will represent our unit of 5 Terminators. The ATV. I might get that. It's like a nice little model to fill in if you have 60 points to spare. The Gladiator Lancer. Looking forward to putting this together and painting it, and then blowing stuff up in games. I really haven't played Ultramarines. I collected Ultramarines last. It was my main army in the last edition. Well, them and Tau. I still have all my Tau, but I don't play them in 10th. What am I looking for? Rhino. My Ultramarines went missing in my move. When I moved out of my house after my divorce, they disappeared. I think they wound up in the garbage. I had a lot of them. And it pains me to recollect them, but to be honest, you know, Games Workshop always got to change things around, so a lot of what I had is outdated. They're legend models now, so I couldn't use them in tournaments. So here's everything on our Yellowscribe list. The only complaint I have about this is you have to put your hand on one of the pages in order to scroll it, and if you don't, what you do is you scroll out of the application, so it's kind of a pain. But we check to see that we have everything here. Once it's complete on the staging zone, we hit Create Army. You haven't selected any models. Oh yes, you have to. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. You have to do that. Ugh. Okay. Marnius Calgar. I don't want these. I don't know how to deselect those. Marnius Calgar. Oh, he comes with 2 honor guard? How did I miss that? These guys. Nope. These guys. So now I'm going to select the honor guard. Pick them up. If you make a mistake like I did, you can redo it. Like when they turn purple, it means they're ready to be picked up. And when you put them down, when you pick them up like that, it sets it. So the intercessor sergeant is going to be this guy. There are 9 intercessors. You only have to select one model. If you only select one model, it'll just make the same model all over again. If you select multiple models, your unit will be a little varied. The Eradicator Sergeant is the guy that points. That guy. And then 2 others. The Terminator Squad, we have a Sergeant. And then 4 others with a Power Fist and Stormbolter. The Invader ATV. When everything's green, you're good to go. But we have the Gladiator Lancer still, and we have the Rhino still. Did that not work? There we go. Okay, so we have everything's green. Now we can create the army. There it is. So here's your army. Yeah, I would double check it because sometimes it does make like mistakes. Sometimes maybe if you click on something wrong, or I don't know, there's some sort of bug in it. It looks like we have everything. It's properly created. So what we want to do now is box everything, select it with the right click, and save object. We call it tutorial Marines. Save. So now we can go back to loading up our map. We'll select our map size, 1v1. We'll select our mission card and load the map. And now we're ready to put our army down and start. And we do that by hitting objects, saved objects, and I'm looking for tutorial Marines. Here they are. You can just drag it and plop it down someplace. It's going to take a minute. Sometimes this crashes me. I can smell something burning. You can do it, buddy. Actually, my computer's fine because the lights are green. I have my fans set so that when it gets really hot, it changes color. If the lights on my computer ever go red, then I just hit the shut off button. It looks like something got stuck here. There's a bug with the table. Something hanging underneath there. I don't know what's up with that. Alright, I'm going to reload because something went wrong there. At least it didn't crash me. Objects, saved objects. Tutorial Marines. Did I just save? Maybe I just saved that thing? Yeah, I didn't save it properly. I didn't save it properly, so I would have to go back in there and do it all over again. And what I'll do is go back to ForceOrg. Let's load the Marines back out. I'm not going to do the whole list. I'll just do like 2 units so I could show you. We've got to launch Yellowscribe, and sometimes this link expires. Yes, it expired. So my new recruit is still open. I'll just export it again. Export it to Yellowscribe. That just creates a new link. The problem is... Yeah, okay, there we go. So once you load in your list... Once you load in your list, you can't load another list that I know of. You can't like reset it without reloading ForceOrg, which is a bit of a pain. But let's get Calgar. Some intercessors. And let's just get a tank or something. Let's get a tank. And let's get them in the list this time by clicking and picking them up. Clicking and picking them up. We'll make this guy the sergeant. Intercessors. So this is not going to be a complete list. I've actually never done this and I never tried to create an army by not completing the list. Let's see what happens. Nothing. It just creates what you make. There's something weird because this is floating. Maybe that's why it screwed up. Maybe if I unlock this. I select it to unlock it. Okay. Now it may work better. So I have it all selected. I'm going to save. Wait a minute. Save. Object. Royal Marines. Yes, we'll overwrite. Now we can load one of the maps, whichever one you prefer. Okay, map is set. Objects. Alright, it worked this time. So here they are. This is the army we just created. And it's great because it gives you all the stats on them. One thing I would recommend, my tooltip appears immediately because it's very helpful to have this up on your screen. Otherwise, you can look through the Tabletop Simulator Workshop and download the data cards. I think I actually have some. There's a bag of stratagems. I don't know how up to date these are. And here's the data sheets. So if I search through my data sheets, I can find Adeptus Astartes. Space Marines. Yeah, they're all in here. This Calgar. This is all in alphabetical order. It's kind of a pain that they didn't put each one in a bag. But you'd have to find the data sheet you're going to use, and you can just put it on the table in front of you. But it's not as... I mean, it's good to have. I guess I've done it. Here's Calgar. It's his data sheet. And then we could look for, like... where's the Lancer? Gladiator Valiant, Gladiator Reaper, Gladiator Lancer. That's our tank. Oh, we didn't bring out a tank. Did I not bring out the tank? Oh, I did. But see, it did it wrong. This is the tank. So that's what I meant about checking. You got to check to see that you got the right models. So I would have to go back and do this all over again. But I'm not going to do that because you get the idea. That's our tank. Intercessors. Here's an intercessor squad with their card. And it's these guys here. These... I don't want this thing. Alright. This is our intercessor squad. So this is a smart way to do it. This way you put them by your card before you deploy. And this gives you... The pop-up gives you essential information. Doesn't give you everything you need. Doesn't give you information on their abilities. So a lot of times this is very helpful because you can see what abilities they have. And in the Intercessor Squad, they have the objective secured, which is a sticky objectives. They can claim objectives and walk away from them, and it would remain a Space Marine objective. Target elimination is another ability. Shows you all their weapons and stuff. So, yeah, it's handy to have that. And then you can begin the game. You know, roll, deploy, roll to see who goes first. And then once, well, we have to select our mission, which I forgot what it was. I thought it would put it up here, but it didn't. It's weird. Let's just start games to see what happens. Oh no, both players have to be sitting, so I can't start a game. What does this say? I never saw that tag. But this is basically how you do it. And once you'd start the game, there should be a mission here. There should be at least a primary mission here. And then there are secondary missions that would come out over here that you can choose 2 of them. And that is it. That's how you play Warhammer 40,000 on Tabletop Simulator. That's the way I was taught anyway. I'm sure there are other ways to do it, but I made it look harder than it is with all the mess ups, but I thought this was a great feature because I tried to play Warhammer Fantasy and I tried to play 40K on Tabletop Simulator years ago. And there were a few problems. One of them was there were very few models. I mean, these models are beautiful. Look at them. I wish I could paint like that. So when I played, there was no Marine. It was like a stick figure guy. It was a stand-in, or like they were paper, like standees. So that was one problem, and the other problem was you had to have all your equipment, all your books and sheets. You didn't have these data sheets. You didn't have like the pop-up with stats. It was just very, very rudimentary, very basic. And it was tedious. It was hard to do. Much easier now. So if you're interested, again, first thing, get to the Discord. Introduce yourself there. People are going to help you. Their communities are very good there. Check the pinned messages. Get your links to all of the assets, which are the maps, the Yellowscribe, new recruit, and everything I used to create my army and load up a map and get a game. So I hope this was helpful. And now that you know how to do it, and once you get on the Discord, I'm Leoben there. Hit me up. Let's play a game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great day today on President Lincoln's birthday. To see you next time.